You're welcome, our dear students, in first year in preparatory stage in this new episode from your program مدرسة على الهواء. And also we can say congratulations for our Egyptian people for our great victory for our army in 1993. Today we're gonna talk about matter and its construction. We talked about what's meant by matter, what's meant by mass, what's meant by volume, and we also talked about physical properties of matter that are number one, color, taste and smell, number two, density, number three, melting point. Let's start by a question on the monitor, please. This question says, give reason for cooking pans are made up of aluminum or stainless steel alloy which doesn't rust. The question says about the reason for making aluminum or making cooking pots utensils from aluminum because or due to its high melting point. We have alloys. Copper gold alloy is used in making jewels. Nickel chrome alloy is used in making heating coils in iron, in heater. Okay, now let's talk about the fourth one, boiling point. What's meant by boiling point? We know that water changes from liquid state, from water, into gaseous state, into water vapor at 100 Celsius degree. 100 Celsius degree. What does it mean? It means the temperature at which water changes from liquid into gas is 100. So what's meant by boiling point? Boiling point, it is the temperature which matter or at which matter begins to change from liquid state to gaseous state. Question is, what's meant by the boiling point of water is 100. This means that water begins to change into water vapor at 100. We know that liquefied nitrogen changes from liquid into gaseous state, into nitrogen, into gas, nitrogen gas, at negative 197 degree. We also know that perfume, that alcohol, changes into gas at very low temperature, but water changes into gas at 100 Celsius degree. What does it mean? It means for each substance has a specified boiling point. No two substances have the same boiling point. So this means, another question, give reason for the separation of components of petroleum oil by heating. We know that petroleum oil consists of some liquids. And if we want to separate these components, what can we do? To separate these components, these liquid components, we can use boiling point because each component, each substance has its own boiling point. That means after a while, after some time, the first substance changes into gas. Then we can make condensation for this gas and collect them together to get the first the first liquid. And after a while, another time, the second material, the second substance changes into gas and we can condense this gas again to get the second liquid, kerosene, benzene and so on. The answer is due to the difference between them in their boiling point, because each substance, each component, each liquid has its specified, its fixed, its constant boiling point. Number 5 is hardness. Number 5 is hardness. We know, my dear student, that some substances are very hard in or at the room temperature. Okay, but some of them are not hard, are soft. Like what? Like rubber. Rubber that's used in making car tires, that's used in making razors. The rubber is not hard, it's not a solid, very solid, very hard, but it's elastic, okay? in the or at the room temperature, rubber, okay? And another substances can be softened by temperature for shaping, like what? Like copper, like iron, like aluminum. We can use temperature, high temperature, to shape these metals. And we have another substances that can't be softened even by heat. Even you put it on the stove using a very high temperature, you can't soften them as what? As coal. So solid substances are soft at room or ordinary temperature as rubber. And we have also solid substances become soft by heating to be shaped easily as metals. And also we have solid substances that can't be softened by heating as coal and sulfur. Give reason for: the screwdrivers are made up of iron. What does it mean? The question says about the screwdriver مفك. Okay, the screwdrivers are made up of steel iron. Why we can't use plastic to make the screwdriver? Yes, because it's not hard enough. Plastic easily will be broken. But steel iron is very hard at room temperature, so it can't be easily break up. So we use steel iron in making screwdriver. The answer: because it is very hard. Because it is very hard. Another question: give reason for the rods used in building concrete houses are made up of iron, not copper. The question means why we use iron in building, in making concrete houses, not using copper. Why? Sure, because iron is very hard, is harder than the copper. The answer is because the hardness of iron is more than that of copper. So each substance has its own degree of hardness. No, all substances are very hard, no, all substances are not hard, but each one has its degree. And we can determine, we can estimate, we can know the name of this substance by knowing the degree of its hardness. Okay? Number 6, the sixth physical property is electric conductivity. Are all metals or are all substances are good conductor of electricity? Sure, no. Because all of us know that not all substances are good conductor of electricity. We use substances to make insulators. Insulator means don't allow heat to pass. Can't permit heat to pass through. And other substances are good conductor of electricity. That means that they allow electricity to pass. So we use copper or aluminium in making electric wires. Why? Because copper is a good conductor of electricity. That means it allows electric current to pass through. But can we use plastic to make electric wire? Sure not. Why? Because plastic doesn't allow heat or even electricity to pass through. Can we use wood to make electric wire? Sure no. Why? Because wood doesn't allow electricity to pass through. So let's see. Substances can be classified according to electric conduction into 2 types. Number 1, good conductors of electricity. Good conductors means electric conductors. Electric conductors. They are substances that allow electricity to flow through. Now notice, my dear student, that flow here equal let to pass equal permit. Okay, let flow, allow flow, permit to flow. Okay, all the same. Allow have the same meaning, to flow. So I can say that good conductors of electricity, they let electric current to pass or to flow, or permit electric current to flow, or allow electric current to flow, the same. Examples, number 1, metals, as what? Iron, silver, copper, aluminum, gold, and so on. And we have some solutions. Solution means something is dissolved in water, as acidic solution like lemon in water, alkaline solution, and some salt solution. So we have acidic solution, alkaline solution, salt solution. Salt solution means some salts which is dissolved in water. These solutions are good conductor of electricity. Okay, but we don't have gases that can conduct electricity. And we have number 2, substances that don't allow electricity to pass or to flow through, like electric insulators, or they are called electric insulators. So we have 2 types of substances according to their ability to allow electricity to pass. Number 1, electric conductors. Number 2, electric insulators. What's meant by electric conductors? They are substances that allow electricity to pass. What's meant by electric insulators? They are substances that don't allow electricity to pass through. Examples, gases. Gases don't allow electricity to pass through. Oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide gas, and so on. And it's very grace from God, because if oxygen transfer electricity, allow electricity to pass, all of us will fall in electric shock, because each of us touch oxygen all time. Number 2, some solid substances as sulfur, phosphorus, wood, and the plastics. As non-metals, we studied before in primary 4 that non-metals are bad conductors of electricity, as sulfur, phosphorus, okay, except carbon. Carbon is a good conductor of electricity. And other substances like wood, plastic, carton, cotton, okay. Some solutions, as solution of hydrogen chloride in benzene. Hydrogen chloride in benzene and sugar solution are bad conductor of electricity. As we noticed, salt solution is a good conductor of electricity. Sugar solution is a bad conductor of electricity. Give reason for electric wires or cables are made of copper or aluminum and covered with plastic layer. As you notice, my dear students, if you gonna buy electric wire from the electrician, what will find it? If you take a piece of its cover, you will notice that its color from inside is something like golden, like reddish brown. It is copper. It is metal. It's good conductor of electricity. It's good. But you will notice that it's covered with plastic. Why? Because if it is not covered with plastic layer, you will have electric shock, because plastic makes as an insulator, an electric insulator that doesn't allow electricity to pass from copper to your hand to keep you healthy. The question is, Give reason for electric wire or cables are made up of copper or aluminum and covered with plastic layer because both of copper and aluminum are good conductors of electricity, while plastic is a bad conductor of electricity. Okay, give reason for electric screwdriver. Electric screwdrivers, المفكات الكهرباء, are made up of steel iron, while their handles are made up of wood or plastic. The previous question about the screwdriver, it was why screwdrivers made up of steel iron only, because it's very hard. But now the question is why it is made of steel iron while its handle, المقبض بتاعه, are made up of wood or plastic. Here there is comparison. The first part of the question, why it is made up of steel iron, because it is a good conductor of electricity. Good conductor of electricity. But handles are made up of wood or plastic because wood or plastic are bad conductor of electricity or electric insulators. Because steel iron is a good conductor of electricity, but wood and plastic are bad conductors of electricity. Number 7, the seven physical property of matter. We talked about color, taste and smell, density, hardness, boiling point, melting point, and electric conductivity. Number 7 is heat conductivity. Substance, we have some substance that are or substances are classified according to thermal. Thermal here means حراري. Thermal conductions into number 1, good conductors of heat. Number 2, bad conductors of heat, or heat conductors and heat insulators, as we studied before in primary 6. Number 1, good conductors of heat. What is meant by good conductors of heat? They are substances that allow of heat to flow through. That allow heat to flow through. As what? As metal, such as iron, copper, and aluminum. Iron, copper, and aluminum. We studied in primary 4 that all metals are good conductor of heat and good conductor of electricity. So metals are good conductor here in what? Good conductor of heat. Question. Give reason for handles of cooking pans or handles of utensils, handles of cooking pots, the same, are made up of wood or plastic. Why? We can't hold the handles of cooking pans if they are made up of copper or aluminum. Why? Because it will be very, very hot. Very, very hot. Because we can't catch it as they are copper or aluminum. Good conductor of heat. But we have to make the handles, مقابض, of cooking pots from heat insulator. As what? Wood or plastic. So the answer will be because wood and plastic are bad conductors of heat. Yes. Number 2, bad conductors of heat. Number 1, good conductors of heat. Number 2, bad conductors of heat. What's meant by bad conductors of heat? They are substances that don't allow heat to flow through, that don't permit heat to flow through. Like what? Like wood and plastic. As we know, all my dear students, we cover in winter with heavy woolen blankets. Why? Because heavy blankets don't allow heat to escape out of our bodies. Because we will feel coldness when our heat from our body escape from our body at night. So we want to keep our temperature, keep our heat inside our body. How? By use heat insulator. This heat insulator is woolen blankets. So we cover with woolen blankets at night to prevent leakage of heat or to prevent heat from escaping out of our body because it is heat insulator. Okay, the reason for cooking pans are made up of aluminum. We asked this question before because it is a good conductor, it is a hardness, very hard, or due to its high hardness, but now cooking pans are made up of aluminum because it is a good conductor of heat and it is it has high melting point. It is very hard substance. By this point, my dear student, I have to say goodbye and see you next week. Keep in touch on our Facebook, الصفحة الرسمية صفحة الرسمية لمدرسة على الهواء. See you next time and goodbye.